think.
Oh shoot!
Why are you still there?
I'm not. Woo! Because I missed my snare, my stun, my thing.
Oh, hey, that's
A dude.
Kill.
That was fast.
Yeah, it was. However, there are some really good. Let's see here. I like No Game, No Life, but the fan service is just stupid. In most fan services, anyway.
Yeah, there's a good bit of that in my favorite anime, which is Fairy Tail.
I don't like Fairy Tail.
I've heard it's really good.
It's not. I don't like it.
Funny.
It's phenomenal, but not for everybody, clearly.
Yeah, it has its moments.
The warrior spirit is never
like,
broken.
So what turned me off to it was just this stupid filler episode. What it's the one like in season 1. I watched like season 1 and 2, and there's some good arcs, but it also suffers from having a lot like no clear goal behind it.
What do you mean?
Yeah, the characters have a goal, but the writers don't. All they want to do is drag it out.
I don't think so. I think the arcs start and stop pretty clearly, and then it goes on to the next arc, much in the way that like Dragon Ball Z does.
What's the end goal?
What's the end goal of Dragon Ball Z?
No.
Or Soul Eater, for that matter.
See, here's the thing. It does have an end goal. They're just not working towards it as writers. That's Soul Eater suffers from that.
I gotcha.
Because like he wants to find his like dragon dad or something. I forget exactly.
Yeah.
Let's say it's something like that. So that's why you get invested in the character, because he has a clear goal. Now, if you were to actually get there, you can create another goal. That's fine, but he doesn't. It doesn't move there very quickly.
Yeah.
And so it just stalls.
Oh, somebody dodged. See, and I view it more as they have the overall, like, if you were to look at it as a game, you have your story quest where, the Fairy Tail as a guild is accomplishing this thing or that thing, and then you have your companion quests. So like, Natsu finding, what's his name? Igneel? The dragon?
Igneel, yes.
Or like
Igneel or Dragneel. I think both of those are a thing.
So
but,
that was pretty much a 3v5.
But like, what's Frostboy's arc in the second season? That was fun to watch.
There's always another wave.
The third season or the third arc where there's that other guild trying to attack them wasn't very well put together.
Oh, I love that one. Because that tells a lot of Lucy's backstory.
What is wrong with this Jackson doctrine? Doesn't matter, but like, seriously?
Well, I'm headed to bed, guys. Good night.
Good night. See ya. I really like that one because it revealed a lot of Lucy's backstory, and it brought a lot of the people in the guild closer together than they had been. So it was I thought it was a character development story arc.
Jace's build.
Yeah.
He's got nothing but vampiric scepters.
Yeah. Did you see the other two? Like, I don't understand. They didn't have capstones, but like, they must be like brand new to the game. They died to the jungle. Like, no one killed them. They died to the jungle.
Okay.
I don't get it.
And they're new to the game. It has to be a match-made game? While wearing a world's icon? These missions are stupid.
Yeah, the League missions are horrible.
Oh my gosh, why?
Oh, there's only 1 day left for him.
Yeah, I think just what really turned me off to the series was the filler episode where they switched bodies.
That one was a little ridiculous. I will admit that one.
Like, that one episode just, like, completely ruined it for me. And I don't know why I can't get past that. Because, like, I really... Frostboy ain't my favorite, but he actually is. I forget his name. But, like, that arc where he has to fight the one thing and save his master, but not...
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Gray.
but it was well written.
Yeah, you're talking about Gray.
That's his name. Like, that was cool, so I'll probably watch more of it and enjoy it. It's just that one episode pissed me off so much.
Yeah, that one was annoying and really silly.
However, I don't know why. You know what? Now that I think back on it, I really shouldn't be that... Well, okay, I should be pissed off at the episode itself, but not the series for it. Because my favorite anime also does a filler episode like that. And I guess it almost turned me off of that one completely as well, so I guess that's fair.
Well, which anime?
Gurren Lagann.
I've heard that one. Good. SAO is my favorite.
I haven't heard of that one. SAO was pretty good.
SAO is fun to watch, but it's really not that good. But it is fun to watch.
I hear that frequently from.
Well, there is a reason you hear it a lot, but there's also another reason why you hear it's good. It's good because it has a bunch of different things it attempts. It's bad because it doesn't execute any one thing that well. It doesn't execute everything very well.
Kirito's a boss.
A lot of times too, it feels like it's being drawn out in certain areas, and then it'll like cram a bunch of important things. Yeah.
No, like they ended on like level 73 is one thing, and okay. So there's a bunch of analysis. As a story, it actually sucks. Like, the entire story, the premise was amazing, and the way they set it up, like, they have a super strong first episode. They have a strong setup all throughout. The first few episodes, they go, it's like anybody could die kind of thing, and then you start realizing... It's actually similar to Attack on Titan, where there's that dramatic tension behind anybody could die. But then people get plot armor and becomes obvious.
A little bit, yeah.
And then it breaks your dramatic tension, especially when it comes to a character like Yui. Yui is what broke... not Attack on Titan, that's something else. Sword Art Online. And the reason is there is no way for Kirito to be able to get backdoor into the code and figure out a way within seconds to make Yui an item.
Yeah.
It was so much of a stretch. Plus, now death had no meaning anymore. is what it did. However,
how?
Death has no meaning. You can now bring somebody back, and from that point on, nobody you care about dies. Really dies.
Close calls.
Yeah, you have close calls, but the dramatic tension left.
I could see that.
And that's the main issue, was where it starts to fall apart. Was when they tried to pull that. There are other ways they could have done it, which would make it better. And there's a lot of different ways they could make it better. But as a whole, it's still really fun to watch because it does all these things, all the attempts, all these different essentially mini series, and they do them all relatively well. Just as a whole storyline, it falls a little flat. And with all that said, I love watching that show.
It is entertaining.
I still love Kirito.
That's kind of like the movie Twilight for me. Like, the books were awful. I couldn't get past the first couple pages. The movie is not a good movie.
The vampires glow in the freaking sunlight.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just,
a horrible
no.
movie,
It's
but it's fun to watch. And I think part of it's because it's so bad.
That's Ghost Rider for me.
Yeah.
It's not good, but I love watching it.
The Nicolas Cage one?
Yeah.
I like that one.
It just
don't think
doesn't make sense. I'm like, you're working for the devil, but you're not, but you are, but you're evil, but you're good. It
Yeah.
But it was so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Transformers is falling into that, and Michael Bay knows it. And he's like, well, my demographic is 13-year-old boys, so tough. And you know what? He plays to the 13-year-old boys. And when you look at it through that lens, it's actually a really good movie.
Yeah.
I've liked the Transformer movies, but I used to watch Beast Wars back in the days, so I've known it from its roots.
But when I
hi,
mentioned
Sona.
Gurren Lagann, have you seen Gurren Lagann?
I have not.
I had never even heard of it before you mentioned it.
Okay, there is an episode which you are allowed to skip. Because it's
thank you.
that body switch episode. It is completely garbage. It is absolute garbage. I think it's like episode 6. It's like a 24 episode thing, and so it starts out underground. It's completely ridiculous, by the way. It's my favorite, and yet it's still, from a critical standpoint, it still holds up to some things, which is also pretty cool. But you start from, you're in a town underground, and at the end, you are literally throwing galaxies at each other.
Well, that's crazy.
Yes,
At all.
it is that insane. It's so dumb, but I love it. It's my favorite. That's what mine and Jared's Discord icons are, is of the two of the characters.
Okay.
Jared's wife, her icon is the significant other of his character. My wife has the icon, the significant other of my character. Oh,
That's nice.
hold on.
That's
Let me bring
adorable.
up- Hold on.
Have you guys seen Flash? It's kind of a different tangent, but
Like the CW Flash? Yeah, I love that show.
have you watched all 3 seasons?
I haven't. I'm trying to remember. The last one that I watched was where Barry's going back into the Speed Force and leaving everybody behind.
Okay, yes, that's the end of the 3rd season.
Okay.
Where, like, his mom comes and picks him up.
Yeah. Yeah, his
that's
quote-unquote
the end
mom.
of it. Yeah. That, like, so, 1st season was pretty good.
Vane, why did you just sit there and die?
And then 2nd season was like, oh, that's good. That's good. Like, I did that all season 2. And then I was like, well, I want to finish watching it or catch up, whatever. So I watched season 3 and it was like, season 3 kind of sucks. And then it ended. It was like, okay, I feel fine about this series now.
Yeah. It's a really good one. I like all of those. Arrow, Flash, Supergirl.
I've seen a little bit of Arrow, but not the others.
Arrow's what got me into that whole franchise. And then the Legends of Tomorrow is really good. I didn't think it was going to be good, but I was like, I'll give it a try.
It was actually good.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Okay, I'll have to look at that then.
It's got the guy that plays Rory in Doctor Who, and he's basically is like Captain Doctor Who.
Okay.
He's literally is a Time Lord, but not the Gallifrey kind.
Okay. So my problem is I'm a romantic, so all of Barry's like hit and miss close calls just were like stop.
Yeah,
Just hook up with someone already.
I know what you mean. It's like, just let them get together already. Stop it.
Right?
I can't
It
take it
happened,
anymore.
like, 2 or 3 times with Iris, and it's like just stop. And then, like, I know Felicity's already taken, but, like, that would have been such an epic hookup.
Yeah, it would have.
That's one of my favorite episodes. Was the one where Felicity came and visited the first time.
Yeah.
And then even that blonde, that was heart-wrenching. The cop, I forgot her name, but
yes.
where they actually were, like, hooked up, but then Barry being Flash got in the way, and then she figured it out, and then he just let it go, and was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. There's so many times I just wanted to, like, smack him upside the head and be like, no, stop being an idiot.
Seriously. Gosh. I did not see the whole Savitar thing coming, though. That was kind of trippy.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
And I'm still want to know what happens with Snow.
Yeah.
Like, she's not Killer Frost, but she's not Snow anymore either.
What did you think about Malfoy being in the show?
Oh, that was awesome. I loved it. Like, he played the character really well.
Yeah.
I was still hoping he was going to save Snow. That would have been so cool.
That would have been awesome. It took me a while to figure out that was Malfoy.
Yeah, he had the beard or mustache or whatever. I don't remember.
Yeah, and I was like, that guy looks so familiar.
Yeah.
And so I looked it up. I'm like, holy crap, it's Malfoy.
Yep, and it's Draco.
And he's lost some hair.
Yeah.
And grown a beard.
Yep. He did such a good job, though. I really
Oh,
loved
yeah.
Like,
It was really well done. I hated him at
Yeah,
first,
yeah.
and then it was like,
yes.
he became one of my favorites later.
Which is the other thing that takes me off. The whole Harrison thing. It's like, it didn't get fixed until the end of the seasons, end of the show. I'm like,
Yeah.
like,
I was glad they brought him back after, figuring out that wasn't actually Wells in the first season.
yeah. Like, that was cool.
Because, like, even after I knew he was the villain, he was one of my favorite characters.
Right?
It's like, I want to hate you, but I just can't.
Yeah, and then even in the second season with Flashpoint, like, where he was holding Eddie.
Uh-huh.
No, was it Eddie? Whatever, Thong.
Yeah.
Where he was holding him, but Thong was just like, I know exactly what's happening to you, and I'm just gonna sit here and laugh, because there's nothing you can do about it. That was... I mean, it's technically the same character, but he looked different, so it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
But I felt like... where he's not pretending to be, oh, I'm a weak and crippled Harrison Wells, I felt like he was still, like, the character. Like,
Yeah,
I felt
the
like that was in line.
The character is very well written. And he shows up in Legends of Tomorrow, by the
does
way.
he?
Yeah.
As a bad guy?
Yeah. Him and Damien Dark.
Damien?
He's an Arrow villain.
Oh,
Arrow / Batman villain.
okay. Name sounds vaguely familiar, but meh. Oh, and I am super glad that Cisco finally hooked up with someone.
Yeah.
It's like, we've been waiting for this for 3 seasons. Like, finally.
Get out, Vane. Go away, Vane. You're gonna die.
You playing support?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. She should not be alive right now. I'm glad she is, but she should not be.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're... Oh.
Flash is my favorite. Like,
Yeah.
anytime anyone asks about superpowers, Flash. I'm Flash.
Flash was always my favorite DC superhero, though the Green Arrow has taken that now.
Has he?
Yeah, Flash is my second favorite, though.
I love speed, especially acceleration, so no one's ever going to beat Flash.
Yeah.
And that was the other funny thing too. That's what bugged me probably the most about watching the Flash is how underpowered he was. Like, I understand probably a bunch of it was him still getting used to his powers, but
Yeah.
full-fledged Flash is basically unbeatable.
Yeah, and I think they started out that way because they're trying to make it from, you know, the origin, so it's going to take him a while to fully develop all of his powers.
Yeah.
Which I think is good, because otherwise it would be boring.
Yeah, probably. But I still would have liked to have seen at least one epic moment where it's like, no, I think faster than you, I move faster than you, there's nothing you can do about this. I'm just gonna end this here and now.
Wow, that was special.
Like did you ever watch Justice League?
A little bit.
There was one episode where Lex and Brainiac teamed up. 2 episodes, I think it was. And the two of them beat the Justice League. They beat Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern. I don't think John was in the fight. But Hot Girl, like Batman, like beat all of them. Flash was there too.
Uh-huh.
And then Flash, like, ran away, and it's like, wait, that's not Flash's character. What's going on here? But of course, Lex and Brainiac are like, ha, we won, sucker, flee in terror. And so they start monologuing.
Of course.
Exactly.
That's what they do.
Yep. And then, out of nowhere, they get slapped upside the head, and they're like, wait, what the heck just happened? And, like, literally a few seconds later, they get hit again, and Flash is running around the entire planet to get momentum and smack these guys.
His infinite mass punch.
And it wasn't even that. It was just literally piling up a world's circumference of speed and just smacking them super hard. I guess it probably technically would have been the infinite mass punch, but it was like the infinite mass punch like 3 or 4 times in a row within like 15 seconds going around the planet.
Nice.
And then, yeah. And then so he finally came back and stopped after knocking him to the ground. And they're just like, what the heck is hitting us? Like, they're totally flabbergasted. And Flash is like, I don't remember what he said. Basically, he was like, this is over. And then he just jumped them and just started pummeling them at lightning speed. Just repeatedly pummeling them. And right about this time is when the rest of the Justice League starts crawling out of the rubble of the building that Lex/Brainiac basically dropped on them. And they're all just like, oh, okay, because there's like this tornado forming around him because he's hitting so fast. And so he finally steps away, and Brainiac is just gone. Like, they turned him into some sort of armor for Lex to wear. The armor's just gone. This armor was like super, super strong. He just obliterated it through sheer force. And so Lex is there, unconscious, and Brainiac's nowhere to be seen. And Flash walks away from it. He's like, I feel kind of strange, and then just dissipates. It's like, oh, that's sad. He lost control of his molecules. He went so fast, he couldn't control himself anymore.
That's not good.
Right? I guess later on they figured out how to get him back together out of errors. I don't remember exactly what happened, but they got him back. But it was like, Flash just beat someone the entire league couldn't beat together. Flash
Yeah. Yeah.
Superman may be strong, but he's honestly got nothing on Flash.
Oh, I hate Superman.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like him because he's overpowered, but
He really is.
he can't beat Flash though. I mean, Flash can't really beat Superman either because he's basically invincible as long as he's on planet Earth and getting sun. But I mean, if it came down to an actual fight, or life or death fight between the two, he would just warp somewhere if necessary with the freaking Speed Force.
Yeah,
Grab some kryptonite and rip Superman to shreds.
I agree.
I mean, Superman could fly, but I mean, all Flash has to do is get himself a jump and high out of nowhere, and then Superman's hosed.
Here's the thing about Superman. He's Superman, but he's not a very good fighter. Which is
He's really not.
He never really has to work for it, and so I think it makes him weak.
And that is why just about anyone else, for example, Zod, who is a fighter, can beat him so easily.
Yeah.
Who's Zod?
Where he has to figure out a genius way to stop him.
He's another Kryptonian.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because but he is like a warrior, and so in a match between them, it's not even a contest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's surprisingly though. I'm really enjoying Supergirl, because
She's a fighter.
yeah, like she has these superpowers, but she has a really hard time controlling them, and she has to learn a lot.
Which is interesting because she's older than Superman.
She is?
And they're going with the timeline where technically she is, but she's basically in stasis essentially.
Yeah, she was in stasis, so
Oh, okay.
mentally younger.
Yeah.
She's older, but just because of stasis.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you think of the sing-along episode?
Sing-along episode?
Batman?
Flash?
Oh.
Flash?
Batman was
I don't remember that one.
It's some super dude who just keeps superheroes in check. And he came and put Supergirl to sleep on planet 19 or whatever she's from, Earth 19. And then came to Earth 1 and put Barry to sleep.
Oh, yeah, that one. I do remember that one now.
That was it was super cheesy.
It was.
Ridiculous, but it was hilarious at the same time. And then their lovers had to bring them back to life. Classic sappy romance story.
Yeah.
And then the dude just disappears and it's like, oh, okay. We're never gonna understand this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was
and
weird.
He's gone anyway, so.
You'd probably like Arrow. It's a little bit darker
Yeah, I
than
know that
Flash.
much.
But it is so good, and yeah, it's like Green Arrow is like Batman, but
Yeah.
but not a whiny little you know what. He's a less psychotic, more with it Batman.
You think Batman's psychotic?
He's got some mental issues.
Guess I can see that.
Like, Ollie does too, but he does a better job of recognizing that, hey, I have issues, and because he acknowledges it, he
Handle him better.
yeah. Plus he keeps the whole team with him, so he has people to keep him in check, and he acknowledges that he needs that.
So that's why he ends up hooking up with Felicity.
Yeah.
Okay. That's like an official thing, right? Or did they break up at some point?
It's an on again, off again thing.
Don't ever do that in your life, by the way. No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an on again, off again thing, which I believe is how it was in the comics too.
Okay. I've never read the comics.
I haven't
anything,
either,
so-
but I kind of read up on the comic storyline after I got into the show.
Gotcha. I watched a video on Flash where someone who knew the comics compiled all the information on him, and it's Yeah, if you thought Flash was strong before, so apparently, Barry pulled a DBZ spirit bomb.
Oh,
at some
nice.
point. And so what he did is, there were a couple of, like, super being god powers, like Thanatos level god powers. They were just like, did you ever read the, Animorphs series?
Uh-uh.
Did you read it, Devin?
I've read a few, yes.
Did you read The Elemist?
Oh, man.
Maybe?
I just got a double
I
kill.
would recommend that one. That's a really good book.
As support Maokai. I am 3-0-8.
I need to go to bed. I couldn't find any good Gurren Lagann clips to show you, so you just have to
No worries.
watch it. Gurren Lagann!
Alright.
It is ridiculously awesome.
My team is so not great
Good
at what
night.
they do.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, so basically you've got these two, like, massive superpowers. Like, on universe level superpowers. And instead of fighting each other, they hold competitions. And so, in this, I can't remember if they were all this way, but at least this competition, they were doing a race, and Barry got pulled into it. So, the problem with this is whoever wins the race gets to keep their planet, and everyone else loses their planets,
Oh, damn.
or something along those lines. Yeah, or maybe even their whole galaxy. Like, it's, these guys are gambling with galaxies. But
So, they're saying, show me what you got?
basically, but like, they're competing against each other, so they're picking different people from different places to race against each other. And I don't remember exactly how or what happened with it, but basically, it got to the point where Barry was caught up in it, and planet Earth was being threatened. And these guys are gamblers, so he challenges them, and he says, I challenge you to race you from clear the fetch out of who knows where in the universe back to planet Earth. And if I beat you there, you can't destroy my planet.
Okay.
These gods can instant teleport.
Oh, jeez.
And Barry challenges them to a race.
That sounds like Barry.
Yeah. And so I don't know if they just gave him time to prepare or what exactly happened, but he had, like, everyone on planet Earth just generate energy, like speed, just running in place or whatever, like, so had everyone generate some sort of speed, and tapped that speed through the speed force and literally beat instant transmission to Earth and saved the planet with the speed force.
That's awesome.
Right? It's like,
I need to
he beat
rewatch the show,
instant
too.
transmission. What'd you say?
I said I need to rewatch the show, too. I've forgotten a lot of those episodes.
So this was just a comic.
Yeah, I
that
was just...
watched. Yeah.
It was just making me think of, like, you know, there's a lot of episodes that I forget about as well.
Oh, which reminds me of that the episode that started ticking me off. Like, so I loved the whole series up until he accidentally went back in time.
Yeah.
And I was like, come on, no.
It's like, remember that thing that everybody said, you know, don't do, and you were like, yeah, I really shouldn't do that, and
Freaking adrenaline rush.
you did, yeah, and you didn't do it, and then all of a sudden you're just like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna do it. Yeah,
No.
that was not good.
No, he didn't do it on purpose. That was the end of season 1. It happened,
Oh, end of season
like,
1, gotcha.
Yeah, it happened like halfway through season 1. It was the brothers from the first episode that got caught in the airplane.
Oh yeah,
It was when one of them came back. That they either didn't lock up properly, or it was the second one that got loose. But anyway, he was threatening everyone, and he killed the cop.
Wow, my whole team just abandoned me.
Oh, sad face. he he killed Iris's dad,
Oh yeah.
so like that was super sad and stuff. I was like, nah, that sucks. But then Iris finally clicked and realized that she loved Barry, and then they kissed, and then the freaking adrenaline rush as he tried to create a wind wall to stop a tsunami accidentally sent him back in time.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, 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 no. And then he did the stupid thing and didn't just like, okay, if I let everything repeat exactly how it went, everything will be okay. But he couldn't do that because he has to be Barry. He has to go save
Yep.
everyone. Screwed everything up. I was like, like I don't know. If I was in his shoes, you're basically letting your dad die so you can get your girl. Like, I don't even know how you would make that kind of decision.
Yeah, it's... Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to handle the time travel part of the Speed Force. I would stay well clear of that.
Like they're supposed to do.
Right? Because even before I really like knew about Flash and what he can do with time travel and whatnot, like, it's always the argument. A lot of people will be like, well, if I could go back, I would change things, and it's like, I've been, I guess, on the fence on that. I've been on both sides of it. Because it's like, well, yeah, it'd be nice to change this or that or the other, and on the other hand, I'm like, well, if any of that, this or that or this particularly, I know if these things had changed in my past, my life would be completely different right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, an easy one, for example, is I installed satellites in Missouri for a couple months. If I had stayed in Missouri and got a job there, I might not be here in Utah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so just, I don't know. But I also believe everything happens for a reason. I don't believe in coincidences.
Same.
So, yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
Don't do it, it's a trap.
It was a trap. Yeah, I'm the support, and me and the Shin are carrying our team. Our Vayne is, well, she's come back a little bit. 8-6-3. Donger's 3-5-5. Vi is 4-6-5.
That's okay, as long as the enemy team's not much better.
Their Twitch is 9-4-7.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
They have 5 towers and 2 dragons, and Baron.
That's a problem.
Yeah, I think this Vayne is finally starting to try.
That's good.
She's been blaming me most of the game.
Okay. What rank are you?
Bronze 5 in solo queue.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. That's where I started.
Yeah.
I just got silver 5, but it was a pain to dig out of that.
I was telling Ben, I think it was either yesterday or the day before, it's like after playing with our group and then going back and playing with randoms, I feel like everybody's playing in slow motion.
Yeah. Well, Mark and also Crash Course and Rackrath are both plat.
Yeah.
Crash could probably be diamond if he really tried and wanted to.
Yeah.
So that doesn't help. And then Ben, I don't think plays ranked.
Not very much.
But he's got to be at least silver, if not gold, if he actually tried.
He's bronze right now.
So,
But yeah, he could easily be higher.
So I'm definitely. I hope I'm at least silver. I mean, I've worked my way to silver, so I guess I can claim I'm silver at least.
Oh yeah.
But I'm silver, and then if I get a chance to snowball, I typically probably play at about a gold level mid-game until I start making stupid decisions because I think I'm too fed.
Yeah,
So,
I'm realistically, I'm probably like upper silver
yeah.
on a
I
good
was-
day gold.
So 2 or 3 seasons ago, I was silver. That was the last time I was silver.
The very first season I played ranked in, which I think was season 5, after my promos I was silver 5.
Oh, nice. So the problem I had sometime around that season was I got to silver 2, I think it was. Maybe it was just silver 3. But anyway, it was 2 or 3. And I would get to silver 2 or silver 3 and immediately lose everything and drop back down to the previous tier. Like, no wins whatsoever. Would immediately lose, drop to the next tier. I'd be at like 60 or 70 points or something in that tier and go straight back up to the one I was just at. Like, almost winning straight in a row. And then that would happen like 3 or 4 times in a row. I was like, I'm done. I'm stuck in silver 2, silver 3. I did not understand what it was. Because I could get to 2 without any problem, and it would immediately drop. Anyway, it was frustrating.
Yeah.
But I haven't been silver since then until this season, which just happened within the last couple weeks or so.
That's the thing I think is dumb, that in order to get to the next one you have to win. And it's like, winning isn't really up to you, it's up to... You're responsible for 1/5 of winning.
Yeah. I do agree with that. But at the same time, though, I do think you have to earn the next rank, so I don't know what else would suffice.
I think just consistently playing well.
Okay.
Like, for example, the last ranked game I played, we won. I got 27 LP. This game, I carried the team for the vast majority of the match, but we still lost because I was playing with a bunch of idiots. And I lost 14 LP. There's absolutely nothing I could have done to prevent us from losing.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of dumb that it's based off of your wins and losses.
Yeah, I hear you.
Because it's like, well, every single game is going to have losers.
Yeah, that is the slightly unfortunate part about the game.
Yeah.
And then they bring out the PvE modes, and it's like, cool, we're getting raffle stopped, help.
Yeah.
Stupid Star Guardian event.
That one was... Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. It was challenging.
Did you play the hard mode?
I played the challenge where it's like, you have to do all the new Star Guardians to do this mission. I'm like, this is a horrible team comp.
Right. The Onslaught version of that one, I never beat.
I don't think I ever did the harder one.
It's brutal. Like, it gets to the point where you've got 2 or 3 Chogavs almost constantly dropping Qs. And in the windows where you could get away from that, you have Skarners unburrowing underneath you.
Oh, jeez.
You constantly seed to death. Literally. And then where you just died, which is a CC trap, your roommate or one of your teammates has to go stand on it to revive you.
Yeah.
Like, this is not working. And then, like, did you ever run into the Kog'Maws when they got empowered?
Yeah.
They were really bad in the hard version. When they got empowered, they killed you in like 3 seconds.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they were bad enough in the regular version.
Yeah. Gotta kite the tanks and kill the DPS really fast.
And I'm gonna stop the stream here.